Welcome back, everyone, to Pom in Oz. Hope we're all doing splendidly. If you're new around here and you're liking the content and you're a blue, or maybe you're not a blue and you just like hearing a Pom ramble about the great game, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Turn them push notifications on as well, so you know when I upload. I upload usually Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, barring sickness like this week where it's a little bit gibbity-gook. Usually some double uploads. I'll throw them in as well, and we do the live streams for the members only. So make sure if you want to become a member and do that, we have special guests, we have a bit of fun, we do giveaways, and we'll be doing a weekly live stream show with Faz on Wednesdays, and there will be some football watch-alongs coming up for other teams because we've got some new content starting round one, so look out for that. So please join me on the journey. And we're doing the rolling 22. We've got probably one more of these, I reckon. We might do one next week after open training, but this is right near the end. So let's get into Carlton's rolling 22. Right, full back line. We're gonna have good discussion here, right? Good discussion. But Nick Newman, lock. Wheater, lock. McGovern, I think there is two holes in Carlton's list that are cataclysmic, that are separating us from 9 to the 8. 8 to flag, right? And that is an intercept defender, caveat, who is fit, caveat, who can play 23, 25 games a year, caveat, you can rely on, right? And McGovern has to come in because it isn't possible for us to play the game. You see it against Sydney, albeit a practice game. You saw it against Collingwood as well. Without that intercept and having to use Wheater and Young, chaos because you lose something. You can't, to play in the big games, you need an intercept. McGovern has to play. And this year, we need Marchbank, Kemp, McGovern, two of them to be fit for 23 games. Two of them have to stop getting injured. And I don't care which two it is at this stage. And if not, end of the year, we've got to go out and buy one. Buy one that is fit, that doesn't even know what injuries are. If you tell them what an injury is, they think it's something you buy at a milk bar, right? That is what it is. But Mitch McGovern is in. I will die on that hill. Mitch McGovern has to play. Has to play. And I think that is where it is. You look at how Melbourne beat Richmond. They take away the intercept game, but they hurt them on the overlap, which causes them to start backing off a little bit in that forward line. That is in key. Mitch McGovern is that key. So Mitchie is in there. Wheater in. Solid. Newman. Solid. Like it. That is me back three. Half back line. This one was tough. Sard, walk-up start. His name is actually glued there. I can't edit that. So Sard is there. Two I'm going to talk about. Lewis Young. I love Lewis Young. Love him. My issues are there was a couple of times at Collingwood, he did the double fist, and then he did that weird thing where he takes the mark, but then drops the mark straight away onto his boot. Bizarre. But go back and watch Lewis Young. He loves that. It's almost like a fake mark kick. I don't know what it is. Whoever's taught him it, sort your life out. But that double fist, and it worries me because Lewis has done this quite a few times. And I worry when you do it in a practice game under zero pressure. And I debated, do I bring Sam Durden in? But then I was like, I don't really trust Sam Durden. Who can I bring in? I can't. So I think he gets another chance. And I think he'll be okay. I really do think he'll be okay. Just want him to iron them out. And I think he'll be all right when McGovern's there because we did say Plowman, Young and Wheater took turns in being that third intercept, which in reality isn't going to happen. But I do just look at him sometimes. And he gives me confidence, but he also doesn't give me confidence. Sat on the fence there. But hopefully you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a practice game, the two practice games, but you also see them in real games. Doc, I've started him on the half-back line. I think the model that Voss is showing with him works. Half-back, float Chera through there, float whoever through there, bring him on the ball, especially when we need to be direct. He likes to throw it on the boot. In my opinion, my issue with Doc in preseason is my issue in game. Sometimes he favours that long kick, where I'd love him to favour the short kick. There was a few times against Sydney, particularly in the opening 2 minutes, we've got acres of space out on the right, and you can go for the switch, and he goes down the line. Now, I know that is AFL safety. That is AFL lesson manual. That's coaching manual 101. That's the percentages. I think Doc's too good a player to not back himself to take something off it. But Doc is in our back six. Terrific what he does. Outside of that, great intercept, great defender, good at the ground ball gets. I think playing that 50-50 model until Walsh is back really looks good. Really looks good. And then we can come to another area, which I think Doc helps fix in a minute. Centre line, I think it writes itself, but I've gone against Pom's thing. But I'll tell you for why. I've gone Blake Acres. I think he's a lock. Notice he's protecting Sard's wing, allowing Sard to overlap. Cripper, best player in the league. Chera, right? I don't like doing this. I don't, but I do think that you start him there, rotate him round. Where I see Chera doing his best work is probably 60 on the ball, 30 halfback, 20 wing. Do you know what I mean? And rotate it, particularly when Carlton the chips are down, put him at halfback. Do you know what I mean? Get him, because I think he's a very good user, and I think on a little bit of space and time, he's class. So I like that model. So I've just tried to explain that before someone goes, Pom, you hate him on the wing. I do. You're right. I've explained it there. Here we are. This is the other problem for us, right? I think we need small forward to kick 30, and we need a medium tall to help Harry and Charlie out, because I think it becomes too samey, right? So I've gone Jack Martin as my first choice. Now, there's a caveat here, right? He's got to be fit and he's got to play. Now, I rate Jack Martin in this role. I think that you look at the stats, if he plays a couple of games and he gets fit, you're looking at 1.7 goals a game when that scenario happens. Has to get fit, right? And you can't treat these players as they won't keep fit. I think that's mental when you're doing U22, right? You can't punish injuries. You punish injuries by doing the right thing at the end of the season. You trade them or you delist them. So for now, we're working with what you're working with. And I think Jack Martin is the kind of player that if Carlton utilise him right, he's potentially that 30-goal player, and he'll do it quite quickly, right? Harry Mackay, centre-half forward. I don't think there's any argument. I think it depends what you prefer. Personally, I prefer, as I've got a bit older and a bit wiser, I do prefer Harry being that conduit and then rotating throughout the game, so it doesn't really bother me. Now, I have got TDK at the other half forward. Now, I personally, and I'm going to put this out to you, people talk about him playing down back, right? I think that's mental. I think it's a total lack of understanding of looking at all the good key defenders in the comp, and his field kicking. Do you trust the field kicking when you look at a Jeremy McGovern, or do you don't, or a Stephen May, of how they utilise the ball? We've got that in Lewis Young. I think, going back, and I went through my notes when he was a junior, beautiful kick at goal he had, and he had a defined role. And I don't think at Carlton he has a defined role. And I kind of blame Voss for this, because I think it's easy just to say he's a ruck, but you're an idiot. If you, in my opinion, you'd be an idiot to think he's going to be a full-time 100% ruckman like Riley O'Brien. Impossible. Not many players are who are like him. So you've got to have a defined role. So I like it when he's on the ruck, he plays the backstop, right? I think that's a brilliant role, because if you look when he goes down the back, he's not actually in the back. He's kind of like in a gone role, where he's between the centre line and the half-back line. He's like the first wave of that defence, and he's taking that short kick. He's making them and taking the trap, and that's the trap Voss lays. He likes laying that little gap for someone to come in. TDK excels at that. I think, though, TDK loves to get involved. Instead of wasting Harry to work that flank and Charlie, TDK. And I think TDK, honestly, in my heart of hearts, looking at the marks he takes, looking at the engine, I reckon high half forward over Martin potentially could work in the long term. So I would be putting him in this team with a defined role. And I look at Richmond's backline, and this is the game you try it. Because Richmond, very systematic how they handle tolls. Throw another fucker in there. Because TDK isn't your average bear. Do you know what I mean? He's quick, he's energy, and it doesn't affect the system in this team. So it gives him the best chase, because I think in an ideal world where TDK plays his best football is when he's rooking for 30% of the time. And the stats back it up by a long way. They are. If you don't believe in numbers, go back and watch the Dogs game where he stretches it after Pitternet hurts. That, for me, is the way forward. And then you can get out this argument of playing 2 rucks, because you've got a guy there who does a job in the team. And I think he's good enough to do this role full time. I think he is. Full forward, Mollop, Kerner, Durden. Now, if we're playing Martin and Durden's not fit, has to be always, because you need, in this team, Martin isn't defensively as responsible as he usually is. I want him to get himself free. Durden, we've got to hope he's fit, because I think Durden and Motlop work a real good combination. Charlie Kerner, there'll never be a 22 that I will read that won't have this bloke in it. But that is good. I'm not against Motlop, and hear me out here, playing half forward and Martin playing in this pocket, awkward third row. And there's a reason. Tom Papley, smaller than the average bear. I like Motlop's work up the ground. I think it's terrific. So I'm not against that bit of a rotation there. But I think this has got goals in it. It's got goals in it. And I'm expecting goals as well. Followers writes itself, doesn't it? Mark Pitternet, George Hewitt, Matty Kennedy. It's ball winning. That midfield there, that followers line, says good players now can play football, because these 3 are going to fucking just win the ball, right? And I look at it, and you go back at the Sydney game, both Pitternet and TDK copped a little bit of heat, but they broke even on hit-outs. Look at the midfield roam into them. It was dire. Like, to be fair to Pitternet, all these hit-outs were in the hot zone. Cripps must have watched that and gone, what's going on? But that is solid, and that, for me, if you play them 3, Cripps Brownlow times 2. Them 3, Brownlow times 2, if you see that 21 plus times this year. I think it helps. Then, the interchange bench. Right. We've got a lot to talk about here. JSOS, right? I like JSOS there, and I think that what that allows us to do is it's part of that TDK plan. Allow him to be there. He can do that role. I don't want to see this gentleman in the ruck, though, right? And I think that if you drop TDK, JSOS has to play, right? I think he has to. JSOS here has to have a defined role. And I'd be using these first 2 games against the best competition of, are we going to sacrifice Martin's greater offensive skill and skill with the ball for JSOS's reliability? Both of them have got big negatives. One can't stay fit. One is very slow to think. Now, I know people say JSOS's IQ's high. It is. Look at his decision-making with the ball, though. It takes a while. And there's 4 goals, if you go back and watch Collingwood and Sydney, that the slowness and delivery actually caused the transition because the leads were impeccable. That is something he's got to work on. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's wasted a year pissing about in the ruck, which I think was ridiculous. But he is in the team. I think his versatility, and we'll come into it there. Zach Fisher, a guy that I was very disappointed in pre-season. I thought after last year where he really showed some signs, I wanted to see him go up a level. I didn't quite see it. And that left a sour taste in my mouth. But it is pre-season. If he has 25 and 2 goals against Richmond, I'll forgive him. But again, this is a rotation. And R22, when you look at it, it's almost down to threadbare, right? At the moment, do you know what I mean? With obvious rotations. And if you actually go through the players we've left out here, outside of Chinkota, you're making an argument, in my opinion. It's not obvious, apart from Walsh, who's a lock. And I haven't got him in here because I just don't want to believe it. I don't want to jinx it. Lockie Cowan. I see the Chinkota argument, and I see it. And I just don't see what planet I'm living in that they're like, oh, you got to play a 24, 25, 26-year-old, dear. Since when? If you're old enough, you're good enough. And if you're good enough, you're old enough. Like, I think that's... Honestly, I see anyone saying, oh, I don't want to play a young player as cowardice. Right? Be brave. Look at how this kid plays the football. Laid a bump on Heaney. Laid a bump on Buddy Franklin. That's hard to do. There is players who are 30 that shit themselves. Tenacious. And then look at the skill sets. And I'm a big fan of Chincotta. And I'm a big fan of Cowan. Chincotta, there's a couple of players on our list who do that. No one does what Cowan does. No one has that kick. No one is tenacious as he is in that back line at all. Skill sets. You've got to look at skill sets and compliments. For me, when people are saying how he plays, he isn't going to be overawed by round one. Right? He isn't going to be. Because you can see he's made for it. So, for me, he's ahead. I'm willing to argue it, and I accept the Chincotta point. Very good player. Would I be upset? Not really. Just for personal preference, I think your bench has got to have options on it that you can't find elsewhere. And Chincotta is somewhere between Sard and Newman, right? But Sard and Newman are in the team. So let's have that change. And Cowan has a lot of facets that young Doc had with the addition of tenacity, physical tenacity. So I like that. And look and project what Smalls are playing, right? People need to look at this because he's quite quick himself. When people go slow, please watch football. Judson Clark, players like that, they're young as well. Tenacious. And he made a career out of being very physical and intimidating. And I think he'll intimidate a lot of seniors. This was a tough one next. O'Brien or Hollands. Hollands probably was in this 22 up until about midday. And then I thought, I had an epiphany. It's a sub. Stretch the game. Do I like making a debut as a sub? No, I don't. Gone with O'Brien because you know what you get. I was sorely disappointed with the Sydney game, but then I was very impressed with the Collingwood game. So I've thought about it. I've tried to be like a dad, and I've gone, okay, that kind of evens it out. Hollands has impressed me both games, but see, I'm trying to change my mind here. I just think Holland's impact sub. I can see it, 20 minutes, bit like Cottrell did last year. He would be the perfect sub, but just think stretch the game, energy, something different. You've got to remember why first-year players, right? First-year key forwards and key defenders, hard to play them. First-year on-ballers, hard to play them. When your job is a half-back flanker or a wing, your entire priority is evasion. That's your numero uno facet. Doesn't matter how big you are. Your natural thing is to avoid it. If you're good at being evading, doesn't matter if you play someone 200 centimetres, 250 kegs, or a wisp. Your job is to beat them. So that's why I've got Hollands there. And I thought, O'Brien, you see what you get. But that rotation is going to be heavy. It's going to be a heavy rotation on that wing. And you need someone that can play it like 70% of the time so you can just pinch hit the magnets where you need. So O'Brien has got that role as a more offensive winger, knowing he's going to have some very good players behind him. But that is my rolling 22. Let me know in your comments. Let's have a discussion. There is no right and wrong answer on this. No right and wrong answer. So it's going to be an exciting time. Can't wait to it. Can't wait to see them out there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you turn that notification bell on. Hit the like, subscribe. And if you want to become a member, no obligation, but it helps the channel out. And until next time, Pom out.